I hope you all are well and prospering even as your souls prospereth. You know, I am so thankful for all the support I have been getting. I have been getting calls and messages from far and wide, and that means a lot to me. You know, if I had any intention of giving up, I can't give up. If I had any intentions of giving up. So I'm here with you guys. I know you would have read the title, so you know why we are here tonight. So I would have done this recording more than once and was not satisfied. I really wanted to give this topic my best because, you know, when I come, I don't only represent me, but I represent God. So I really wanted to give it my best and to be very fair. So you all know that I have 2 boys. I'm a mother of 2 and sometimes 3 because I have a stepson. I know these guys are so close to me. This afternoon, my husband and I, we were just having fun. Umaran was laying on me and my husband came and he was poking me, having fun. And Umaran started to, no, leave my mother, leave my mother. He got all defensive and I told him, I said, no, it's okay, we're playing, leave my mother. Leave. And you know, these guys would defend their mother with their lives. If they only think something is wrong, they would defend their mother. I love them so much and they love me just as much. You know, they are so protective of their mother. I don't have any girls, but I am thinking that boys have a unique connection with their mothers. No, it's not something that can or will be easily broken. And it shouldn't be easily broken because as a mother, you put so much into being a parent. You put so much into growing your children up so that they can walk in the correct path. You know, you give up so much, you sacrifice so much as a mother for your children. Because I know for me, I will do just about anything for my children once it doesn't go against. With that said, you know, they grow up and they get married, they get wives. You know, the Bible talk about leaving and cleaving, and the 2 shall become one. So it's no longer 2, it's 1. And a lot of couples, a lot of people, because this is a topic that I was given, a lot of people experience trouble in their marriage because of this. You know, there are cases where the mother-in-law seems to overstep her bound, or the son is so closely knit to his mother and he can't seem to let go. The mother can't seem to let go her son, like she don't realize, or probably it's hard for her to let go, to detach. At this point, you have to allow your son because he now chooses a new path. He chooses a new queen. You know, his wife becomes the queen of their castle because they have their own home. And, you know, still giving credit to the mothers. I would never say that you are supposed to ill-treat your mommy or be disrespectful to her or don't give her the respect that is due to her. But at the same time, the wife needs her respect as well, you know, and her space, her place, because she's now the new lady in your son's wife. And I think she deserves that respect as well. So, you know, you have cases where mother-in-laws think that it's okay to come in and speak on issues in their children's marriages. And probably it's because they were invited to do that. When I say invited, and there are issues, you know, the son will go back and tell his mommy and she would talk on things. And probably with good intentions, she may speak about certain things. But even with good intent, these things can cause problems. Because remember, if you are enjoying my content, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so you will be alerted each time I upload new content. It's a new couple. They have started their new lives together. And they would build their own traditions. Both of them would have come from different backgrounds and different cultures. So they come with different ideologies. So teeth and tongue will meet, there would be disagreements. But that is a nice thing about marriage. You sit down and you talk it out. You grow. These experiences help you to grow together. And when you have a third party coming in and influencing that could be very difficult. That could be very bad for a marriage. It can cause a lot of mixed feelings with the wives because she now feels like she probably don't have a say within her own marriage. Things like this. And even though the mother-in-law, I said, may mean well, it may not always come across like that. Truth being told, as a mother, you really need to give your children space when they decide to take that step, because we all know that marriage is not for children. Marriage is for adults. This is not dolly house. This is serious business. So when your son takes a wife, you have to respect that. You have to give them space. You need to consider yourself in a case like this. What would you have liked for yourself when you would have gotten married, if you were ever married? Would you have appreciated things like that? You know, and these things can actually help in breaking down a marriage. And I know as mother, you are probably accustomed to being first place in your son's life, so to speak. But the day that he takes a wife, he removes you from that particular place. No respect is lost for you, but he removes you. He gets his own, he has a wife. What can I say? It replaces the need for all the protection. You know, because as I said, it's not a institution that children ought to enter into. Marriage is a thing for adults. You know, so it's serious business. And what I can suggest is that as a daughter-in-law, you try to, if you run into issues with a mother-in-law, you try to befriend her. And as mother-in-laws, try to befriend your daughter-in-law. So you know you have a good working relationship. And you know, if you do that, probably the daughter-in-law would come to you with issues and you can now give them advice, give her an advice. But for your son to come with the issue to you, and then you might pick a fire rate for your son, can you see where this can cause problems? Instead of de-escalating something or pacifying a matter, you may actually cause it to escalate. And these are things that you need to consider as mother and as son. You know, as a man who has decided to take a wife, there are things I believe that a mother-in-law can actually assist with in a marriage. Let me share this experience with you all. It's not my experience, but it's that of my brother and his wife. I remember when my brother and his wife, they were newly married. My sister-in-law came to my mother and told her, you know, your son not eating my food. Every day I would cook and he would not eat my food. And mommy said, he not eating your food? She said, no, he's not eating my food. So mommy said, well, okay, go and prepare his food. From today, he'll start eating your food. Because his custom was, when he went in the garden and come back, he will pass on my mommy, eat, and then go home. So he won't eat his wife food. And the same day he came out of the garden, he came home by mommy. Wall seeing, he went and he raised up the pot cover, and from the time he raised up the pot cover, mommy said, you have a wife now, go man eat your wife food. And that was the end of it. And now I'm saying it might actually be beneficial to have a proper mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationship, because it can actually help to build a marriage. And if there is not a good relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, that can hamper the entire relationship in marriage, because a man is close to his mother in most cases. You know, you don't want to separate him, or you don't want to feel like if he has to make a choice between the two of you all, because really he shouldn't be placed in that position. Everybody just need to know their place, and you know, it could actually work. So I think it's about knowing and setting boundaries. You know, in the case of my parents and their children and their in-laws, their daughter-in-law and son-in-law, we the children normally just sit down and say hi. Like our parents just pick up for the in-laws more than just pick up for their own children. That's the kind of relationship they have with their daughter-in-law and son-in-laws. So I think it could be a beneficial relationship to marriage once it's approached in the correct way. There is no need for disrespect at any level, where the wife feels disrespected by the mother-in-law intervention, or the mother-in-law feels disrespected because the wife have to put her in her place. You know, there are things that are to stay within the confines of marriage that nobody has their right to put in. And even when there are certain issues a man may think he needs to go to his mother with, it's better you decide to go to a counselor. If you know that the relation, it will cause problems with your wife, go to a counselor. If you want your marriage to work, go to a counselor. Some of the things you just will have to leave mommy out of it. Because if we are being fair, it's really none of mommy's business. You know, and probably she can't handle it. Just imagine all the love I have for my children. And then Omarion was to come and tell me, Mommy, you know what my wife did me? Maybe something I don't like, and my natural response may not be one that will be beneficial to him in the long run, because I may rant and wail, I may say things about his wife that may get back to her, and then what kind of environment do I create for us to work with after? So sometimes we have to weigh things in a balance. We have to enter into agreements intelligently, into marriage intelligently. This is not a joking matter, and I cannot say that enough, because as you all know, if you all have been following me from the beginning, you know that I have been married before. And these problems are not really limited to a man and his mother, because you may find it to be true if you were to reverse it with a woman and her father, or probably her mother. It's probably not as prevalent, but, I'm not saying it's non-existent. But these are things that we need to approach intelligently, because they would have consequences, and some of them may be grave consequences. So why not strive to have marriages that shine in every aspect? Or you do your best at it in every aspect. Commentate with the attitude that you can make it work. Sometimes you may reach up a bad mother-in-law, or I don't even want to call her a bad mother-in-law, or a clingy mother-in-law, a mother-in-law who don't know how to let go, don't know how to probably just take it down and see about her business in her palace now. So just to summarize everything that I said, marriage don't have to be a war zone where there is a fight between in-laws. It really don't have to be. It could be a ground where, people build, people learn, people love, people help. And I think that is what God had designed it to be. That was his plan. He knew that it could have caused some issues, hence he said a man ought to leave and to cleave. And I think that says just about everything. Yet we give respect, because a mother would have sacrificed to do all that she could have done in her power for her sons, and therefore she doesn't deserve to be shut out when he gets married. The grandchildren should have a good relationship with their grandparents. And as I said, that is how God designed it to be. So I pray that God will bless your marriage if you are already married. If you are not married as yet and you are hoping to be married, I pray that even now God will go in advance and he would clear the path for you, that he will give you the grace to deal with whatever would transpire within your marriage. He would have already given you the grace to deal with it. So may he bless you and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, and I pray that your relationships be improved even from now on. So until we meet again, stay blessed.